So
And we're
I'm just going
live. No, you carry on doing what you're doing. Hello and welcome, and thank you for your patience. We've been doing the tech thing. Hello, welcome, Kathryn.
Thank you, Karen. Thank you for having me. It's nice to
Hey,
be here at long last.
I know it's the two Ks. I was thinking Karen and Kathryn, the Kiwis, right?
Oh, yes, 3Ks.
I know. Okay, we're double trouble today.
Yeah, yeah.
Hey, speak. Yeah, you do your thing. What are you doing?
I was just refreshing my laptop so I can actually see what people are saying.
Perfect.
But
Yeah.
here we go. Cool.
Nice. All right, let's say hello to our nice peeps. Hello, Mike, Rhonda, Tracy, Paula. Hello. Hey, everyone. Okay, thank you for your lovely patience. Hey, funny little story. Alison didn't know, like when I sort of said something about like being a Kiwi, and she goes, "What do you mean being a Kiwi?" Like, "Oh, a Kiwi is like, do you know?" And she goes, "Well, like the fruit." And I go, "Oh, okay." So I sort of explained to her that we're these like, and then I was making jokes from then on about us Kiwis being like little flightless nocturnal birds, and then Americans are the eagles and stuff,
Right.
And she was literally going, "Oh, okay, that's cool." So then she kept on introducing me as a Kiwi, but I said, "Hey, look, and we take ownership of the fruit as well. Like we like to, say like Kiwi. That's like our little emblem, our little emoji, isn't it?
Yeah,
That we can
exactly.
use." Yeah. Awesome. All right, let's rip into it. So
Yeah.
first of all, Kathryn, congratulations again on hitting your 1,000 subs.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. Man, YouTube is such a roller coaster, isn't it?
It is. It is. We're here for the real talk. It is.
And I imagine, and I reckon once you get close to a milestone, I reckon YouTube plays with you a bit, gives you subs and takes you subs. I don't know.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. 2
It's
steps
like
forward, 3 steps back.
I'm 999, and then it's like, no, I'm not. I'm 997.
Yep, exactly. And
Oh,
so, okay, let's have a little like a recent recap. So you had a name change,
yes.
changed the channel name.
Yeah. So I restarted the channel in January. It was a bit sporadic. Totally didn't understand what I should have been doing. And then kind of quickly learned that YouTube is like a business. You need to be consistent. You need to have a brand. I've started plenty of businesses. And once I kind of realized that, I started doing my talking head stuff and my personal development stuff. And I was just kind of over talking about that. So I'd done a couple of vlogs earlier in the year and quite enjoyed it. And then I thought, I'm going to do that. I'm going to start vlogging instead. So yeah, changed the channel name, more of a, I guess, for want of a better word, homesteading lifestyle type thing. Yeah. So, and then came more lessons.
Okay, and what have they been?
Oh, sitting right here and doing a talking head video is super easy compared to doing a vlog in terms of the time involved. So yeah, what I hadn't, the few vlogs I did earlier in the year was sort of when we were away on holiday and I had plenty of time. And I had plenty of time anyway, but I sort of was editing them and it would take me a whole day to edit this little short video. And so when I started doing them, it's like, oh my God, I'd forgotten about that.
Yeah.
And yeah, and because of course I'm new to it, everything takes so much longer as it does, when you're new to things. And the time involved in editing is massive. It's just huge.
Massive, yeah. And
So that
look,
was the biggest learning curve, yeah.
totally. And I'm thinking who else we've got in the chat that does that kind of video. So obviously Tracy with an IE and
Oh, yes.
Jennifer
Hi,
does
Tracy.
those
Hi, Jennifer.
vlogging. You've got so many nice comments in here, just people being so happy for you.
They're all Debbie Sue. I'm just looking at my laptop over here, so excuse me for
No,
Plants
no, that's good.
away. Mike, hi, Mike. Hope I haven't
And
missed anybody.
Paula
Oh,
does
Paula. Hi,
vloggy type
Paula.
ones when she's doing her
Yeah.
long forms. Yep. So yeah, the time, that's exactly right. So, and yeah, I've been seeing you play around and having fun with all the different the angles, because I was watching one last night where you were like washing out your jars, and I could see
Oh,
you,
yeah.
like, you having the camera like up here and looking down. I'm going, yeah, you go, girl. You know, like you are doing, you're doing, and I've seen you comment on that as well, just saying that, you forget when you're out and about that, oh, okay, I can put my camera down on the ground, and I can put my camera on a fence or wherever, so a lot of work
Yeah.
doing that kind of
Yeah.
video,
And
sure.
that part of it for me is the part that I enjoy. That's the creative part of it I enjoy. I used to do photography quite a few years ago, and yeah, the videography is giving me that creative outlet. Yeah, which is really cool.
Definitely.
And I mean, I've got a whole lot more to learn, and I need to kind of, what I want to do is start watching, filmmaking videos, or more of them. I have watched some, so that I can learn
Yeah.
and make them more interesting from that point of view. Yeah.
Yeah.
But the other thing
Yeah.
with vlogging, I find, and I've heard this from other people too, is that like every time I record a video, every single time, I think to myself, this is really boring. It's like, because it's my life. Whereas other people find it interesting and enjoyable. And a lot of people find them really relaxing, which is so surprising to me.
They are really relaxing, and I honestly, because when I, like, binged a few of your videos last night, I love the music. The music, like, is it the guitar? Like, are you using Epidemic Sound?
No, no, I'm just using YouTube library, music library.
Interesting.
That's all I'm using. And a lot of people, I know a lot of people don't use that because they use Epidemic Sound. But because I'm retired, I've sort of decided that it's going to be a self-funding hobby for me. So when I make some money out of it, then I might invest some money into a better camera, or not that I'm really worried about that because I think my phone's fine,
Yeah.
or other things. But yeah, what I found is a lot of people say that they really like the music. So that's,
Yes, and look, Tracy loved the jar angle too.
oh, right. Thanks,
Yes.
Tracy.
Yeah, I saw, like, empathetically, I saw, like, the little, like, you were trying to sort of do the logistics of it, like the slight little pause where you must have been like, okay, have I actually got the thing? Because you're
Oh,
probably
right.
looking at your phone to like, then you're thinking like aiming downwards.
Yeah,
Honestly,
because
all these great things. Yeah.
I haven't got one of those, like Tracy's got for her art, one of those overhead things. I need to get one of those. So I've just got
Yeah.
my tripod, the same that Rob uses, and you can put that on a certain angle, but the base of it is quite wide, so you can't get it really close to things like the bench, for example.
Yes, that's
Can't get
right.
it over. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I know exactly. That's where like masking tape and all that stuff comes into play, doesn't it? Like you just like tilt something. That's literally what that's what I will do.
Yeah.
I'll just jerry, whatever you call it, jerry. I want to say, I don't know, what do you call it? Like where you
Carry
just make
something
it
up.
happen.
Yeah.
Jerry
Yeah.
something up. Yeah, jerry it. Yeah.
I
Yeah,
remember
totally.
years ago when I
Gerrymander. Is it gerrymander?
oh, right. Yeah. When I
Yeah.
launched my book, I remember I was going to do it in person, and then it was during the pandemic, and I did it here in the lounge, and I had all this set up, and there was wires everywhere, and it was
I know.
hilarious. And it's like
I
behind the
know.
scenes, it was like
I know.
it was this
Exactly.
big mess with my laptop sitting on top of a box, and yeah, so
That's it. That's it. That's
yeah,
what we do. That's what we do. Yeah, you're getting
yeah.
lots of lovely compliments here. Lucy's just
Oh,
saying it's a
thank you.
brilliant pivot in your life in New Zealand.
Yeah. I am enjoying it. I must admit, though, I go through, like everybody with, or most people do with YouTube. I think there's some days I kind of think, or a few days, and I'll think, I'm over it. I don't want to record, and I don't record anything for a few days, which I did. What are we today? Tuesday. So I did sort of late last week. And then the last 3 days, I've been taking my camera everywhere. And it's like I've got all this footage.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
better do something with it now. Like, no excuse now. Like, you've done the garden, you've done your food, you've done all your list,
yeah,
your to-do list, and so now it's like, "Oh, well, maybe I'll make something of this."
yeah, so it's, yeah, no, it's good.
Yeah, honestly, I think they're beautiful. I think they're beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
Um, and what I really like to, I really, and I'm curious what your job was. Like, you talk about like leaving corporate, then you had your own business or businesses for 10 years. So I definitely want to like have a little nosy into that. But
Yeah.
I always smile to myself when you just, you make some real comments. Like, first of all, let's just go back a little bit to, was it about a month ago that you thought, I'm out, guys. You've been great. This has been great, I think, but I think that I'm out. I might see you another time, might not. And then you pop back a few days later. So tell us about that first.
Yeah, so, um, I'm so many years ago, I mean, for those that have followed me sort of from the beginning, my personal development stuff, I've done a lot of personal development work over the last 35 years. So I'm someone, because of that, I'm someone who knows and understands myself, um, pretty and deeply, I guess. And therefore I process things really, really quickly. So, and that was a perfect example. It was like, I was like, yep, no, I'm over this. I'm done for a bit. I need a break. And a 48-hour break was all I needed.
Yeah.
And it's like,
You were
no,
tired and then you came
but
out of retirement.
yeah. But
Yeah.
also too, what I did in that time is I actually processed it and I thought, now how can I do this? How can I make this easier for myself, but still provide a similar type of content? And that's when I came up with the idea of doing the shorter vlogs. And I thought, well, that's going to take less time. But then of course you don't get the watch hours. So I was doing more each week when I could have been doing a longer one. So my latest one is twice as just over 6 minutes, I think.
Yeah.
So it's figuring all that out. So yeah, that's how that came about. That I sort of was like, no, I'm taking a break, and I was like, no, I'm back. But that's me. Yeah, that's how I am.
Yes. So when you took a break, were you starting to do your vlogging type videos or were you still doing your personal development? I thought that you were still doing your vlogging ones. And
I
you
was,
like,
yeah, I was still doing my vlogging ones, but I did
yes, you
take a break.
changed your name, started doing the vlogging, then you
Yeah,
said, "Hey, look, I'm out," and then you
yeah,
carried on.
yeah. I just said I'm going to take a break. Yeah, so
Yeah,
yeah, and that was
yeah,
kind of all I needed to was just that breathing space, really. In hindsight, I probably shouldn't have said anything. I probably should have just taken a step back, but at that stage, I really didn't know whether it was going to be a day or a week or a month or whatever it was. Yeah. So,
yeah. So why is
yeah.
that? Why is it that you said, like, "I'm over this," sort of,
Um,
"I'm not going to carry on"?
because because I'm someone who um, speaks my mind. Um, I like sharing where I'm at. So, and also too, I think at that stage, yeah, I wasn't sure how long it was going to be, so I wanted to let people know in case I was gone for a month.
Yep.
Yeah, so that's why I said it. Yeah.
Oh, yes, but why? Why? What was the reasoning behind you wanted to stop?
Oh, sorry.
Yes.
So I was, because of the length of time in the editing the vlogs, it was just, I was sort of thinking, God, I can't sustain this really. I don't. It was eating into my life, I think, which is
Yeah,
what I put on the post. It was kind of
yeah,
distracting me from being fully present in my life.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
what it
and that
was. Yeah.
yeah, and those
Mhm.
were exactly the words that you said too, I do
Yeah.
remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Mm.
So yes, so what was the job? What type of work did you do before you went into business for yourself 10 years ago? I'm
So
nosy.
I have done so many different things. I spent 30 odd years in the corporate world, in um, administration management, executive support, and training. Many different roles. I contracted for probably about 7 or 8, maybe 10 years. I was a contractor because I'm someone who likes variety, and I get get bored really easily. So I found that contracting was really good because I could do a contract, it would have a beginning, a middle, and an end. Excuse me. I have got some water here. It had a beginning, middle, and end. And what I also liked about contracting was I could take a break between contracts. So I did that. I had some permanent roles before I left the corporate world in 2013. And then spent 10 years working for myself. I'd had a business back in 1998 that I did for probably only about 6 months. Learned a lot, realized that I didn't know enough, ended up going back to a job because I
What
didn't know how.
business was that?
I used to make and sell affirmation cards. So I had these little packs of cards they were all different sort of themed ones. The main ones were for children, and I used to sell those into retail stores in New Zealand. Yeah, so that was a big learning curve. But then, 2013 is when I started my copywriting business. So left the corporate world literally in a stressed out heap after a crazy, horrendous job where I was working 12 hours a day supporting a senior manager. And then took some time out because I was completely burnt out.
Wow.
It took me sort of 3 months to even be able to get my head back together to start thinking, what do I want to do next?
Wow.
I was it's interesting. People talk these days about being burnt out and
That's right.
they throw it around. They say, I'm really burnt out, but I'll be right in a few days. It's like when you're really burnt out, you are, emotionally and physically exhausted where you actually can't function.
That's right. You're right.
Yeah. And I've experienced that more than once. Tend to push myself a little bit too hard, or used to, don't now.
Yeah.
So at the time, my husband and I were commuting from Auckland, from Tauranga to Auckland for our jobs, Monday to Friday.
Oh, wow.
We'd
What is
drive
that
up there.
like? Is that like 2.5 hours or something? Or
Well, it used to be between 2.5 and 3 to the office in the beginning, probably about 2.5 actually, back then. But as time went on, that got longer and longer.
yeah.
So he was still commuting. So I came back to our house here in Tauranga and took 3 months off. He'd come home at the weekends. And after that time, I thought, well, what do I do now? And I thought, well, I know how to do copywriting. I'd learned how to do website content at a job I was in. I'd always loved to write. I'd done some technical writing. I was very good at putting together business documents and things like that. So I started a copywriting business, which was brilliant because all I needed was my laptop and my brain, and I could be anywhere. So I could travel with him to Auckland for the week if I wanted to and still do my work, or I could stay at home. So it was brilliant. And I did that for 3 years.
That's a lot though, isn't it? Still, like leaving your house, packing up, that's busy, right? That's
yeah. But
even though you get to stay, yeah.
I was 12 years younger then. So
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so you're still
I was
going like a train, yeah.
I was in my late 40s. So, that was all sort of doable then. But so that was a great business. And I was very fortunate. I had a lot of contacts from my corporate life. So I just approached a lot of those people to get it started and, just built it up online. And it was my first real experience of working with people digitally, I guess. And not actually, not meeting probably 99% of the clients I worked with. It was all done through emails and phone calls, and which was totally new back then, at least to me anyway. Yeah.
Interesting. So
But
copywriting. So is copywriting, what is that? Is that like writing the content?
yeah, so it's writing any kind of content. So I had previously done like policy and procedure manuals, which is technical writing. I'd done a lot of that in a contract role that I
Wow.
had. I'd learned how to do that. So that was one thing I offered. Any kind of business documents, proposals, proposals, letters, tenders, all sorts of things like that. Website content was a big part of it. So I used to do a lot of website content writing. I had a couple of web developers that I contracted to, local ones here, and they would just, when they got a website to be built, they would build the website, but I would do the website copy. So lots of different things that I wrote, which made it interesting for me. Yeah.
So do you have a website?
No, not now. No, I used to.
Yeah.
I've had several different ones over the years and always built my own, which is something else that I really enjoyed too. So after
Yeah.
that business, I went to Auckland one weekend to learn how to paint furniture, and I was just so taken with how easy it was to transform a piece of furniture, a really old piece of furniture, that into something that looked, bright and modern, or something that was a bit funky, or, really interesting colors. And I was driving home from that, and I was just so taken with how easy it was. And I was like, I could teach this, because I'd been a trainer and I've always enjoyed teaching people. And another part of the copywriting business towards the end was that I went into corporate training. So I used to go into corporates and do trainings for a morning on, business writing, how to, teaching people how to write. So by the time I'd driven from Auckland to Tauranga, I'd come up with this idea in my head about another business.
Yeah. Jumped out of the car, told hubby you're running away and joining the furniture painting circus. You're like, okay, dude. He's like, wait a second. What happened to Kathryn like grabbing coffee at the Z station like 3 hours ago? I want that one back.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I know he's well used to me now.
Yeah, I love that. I just love that. All right. And so, and Rhonda is just saying that your book is a fantastic read.
Oh,
So
thank you.
when did you write your book? And I know that you've sold lots of copies now, and I've seen you promoting it recently. So when did you write that? And what is it about?
So I wrote that in 2020.
Okay.
2020. Yep. So I'd always wanted to write a book, always knew I would, just had a gut feeling that I would. It was so early 2020. My brother had just died of brain cancer, and Craig and I were away for a few days, and we were out for a walk, and it was a beautiful day, and I was walking along, and all of a sudden this just thought, or I don't know what it was, it just landed with me, and it was like, I'm going to write a book this year. And it was like, whoa, where did that come from?
I wonder where that came from. Yeah.
Yeah. And then I just started writing, and within, I think it was a month, I'd written the first draft. I just, everywhere I went, I was writing or recording into my phone. And I would go, if I was driving from here, a couple of hours or something, I would be stopping every now and again to talk into my phone. So it would take me twice as long to get anywhere. It was hilarious. We wrote the first draft in 2020. And then it took me 2 years to publish it. So that was the toing and froing, the editing and the re-editing and the re-editing and the re-editing, and then getting 2 professional editors, the book, the cover, the back cover. It's such a massive thing to write a book. It's huge, but I'm glad I did it. And I did want to write more, but I don't know if I will or not. I'm not sure. Even earlier this year, I thought I would, and I've got another couple that I've sort of started, but this particular one is it's a collection of stories and lessons learned from my 35-year personal development journey. So,
Okay.
So I'm just sharing what I've learned, really, which is, something that I, just enjoy doing.
Yeah. So when you say like you've done a lot of personal development work, like what does that look like? We know that Jennifer, like she does lots of Tony Robbins stuff. Like have you gone to courses, or what does that look like? What did you do?
So I I was introduced to it by a work colleague back in 1987. So I used to commute to the office with this wonderful Canadian woman, and she was quite a bit older than me. And I lost my mother when I was 12. So that was
Ah,
always a massive issue for me.
mm,
So when I met this woman, I think I was 24. Um, and she was a real sort of mother figure to me, I guess. And she was into personal development. And she suggested I read You Can Heal Your Life by Louise Hay. And so that was the first book that I ever read. And it really opened my eyes to the fact that there was a whole different way of looking at things and thinking about things than I knew. I realized that I was stuck in a depression that I'd been in since my mother had passed 12
mm.
years earlier. I mean, I still functioned. I went to work and I did well in my job and all of that. I was in a long-term relationship, but quickly sort of realized that I needed to get out of that. That wasn't healthy. And in 1989, left that relationship and went into psychotherapy.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I had intensive psychotherapy for, oh gosh, a number of years initially, and then off and on for quite some time. So that's the bulk of the work that I did to understand why I felt the way I did. What had really gone on. I sort of learned that I had, as a child, I blamed myself for my mother's death
Gosh.
because I was one of 7 kids, and in my head as a child, I had sort of made up this story that because I was one of the 7 kids that kept her exhausted, that had caused her cancer and caused her to die, and that was what I had taken on board as a child. So learning that, realizing that wasn't the case, and then working through all of the grief that I'd buried for 12 years
Yeah.
over a long period of time. Also realizing that I had an attachment style, which attachment therapy is a style of therapy based on John Bowlby's theory that we attach in certain ways, and if we have trauma in our early life, we attach insecurely, and that causes us to act out and behave in certain ways, cling
Mm,
to people, be anxious, all those sorts of
yeah.
things. Yeah, so there was a lot of stuff. Also, too, when I was born, I was separated from my mother immediately because I had some issue with my lungs and I had to be taken to another hospital. So I think
Mm,
that contributed to some of the things that I went through as well, some of that insecure attachment. So yeah, working through
yeah.
that in therapy was, my first step in that. And then then I sort of really developed a real love of personal development because I could see how massively it helped me and changed me. So over the years, I've done lots of different courses and things, and probably
Mm.
the last 4 years, not this year, but up until this year, for about 4 years, I was working with an intuitive healer, which was more of a spiritual guides
Oh,
and
I love
angels
that.
kind of,
Yeah.
yeah.
Love that.
Um, so I've moved more into that sort of thing.
Yes.
Um, which I'm really loving, and just
Mm.
yeah. So it's been a journey, and it's one that, not long after I started my therapy, I decided that I would always be on this journey because it was so incredibly helpful and I loved it so much. And I know that I will always, even though I don't share that stuff anymore, I will always personally be on that journey because there's
Yeah,
always more to learn about
totally.
myself. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, love that. You're getting some big love coming through the comments. Just Lucy
Oh,
saying, big love, thank you for sharing. And just with Jennifer
oh,
saying,
thank
yeah,
you.
children blame themselves often, you know?
Yes. Yeah, they do. Yeah.
Yeah. And just Jennifer saying she feels the exact same way about personal development. When you see the healing that is possible, you want more and more of it.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
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 Yeah. I mean, it's not easy, is it?
Oh,
But the best
it's the
things in life
hardest
aren't easy, you
it's
know?
the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. It's the most costly thing I've ever done in my life to go and to
Absolutely.
psychotherapy,
That's right.
but it's the best thing ever, and I'd do it
That's
again
right.
in a heartbeat and recommend it. Yeah.
And Rhonda, I'm not quite sure if Rhonda is here, but she's a psychotherapist.
Oh, yes, 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 exactly, yes,
Yes, yes,
that's
and I've got
right.
a fascination with it because my husband's uncle, who's just one of my favorite people in the whole world, you know, I just keep on forgetting that he's sort of getting a little bit older because he's just this beautiful, youthful spirit, just a beautiful man, you know, just some of these people that you just love to be around and everything. But
Yeah,
I just, yeah, just it's just always been fun, like just learning from him, you know.
yeah, cool.
But yeah, when you say costly, like, do you mean like obviously financial cost, right? But
Yeah,
also,
yeah.
was there some personal cost to that, or was it you're not talking? There was no personal cost. It just wasn't. It was challenging,
Um, it was
beneficial.
it was very expensive, going twice a week, for a very long time initially, back in the late 80s and 90s.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, but I was fortunate at the time. I was a flight attendant.
Ah, you've
I was
done your
travel
flight attendant. That's right.
Oh, yeah,
You've
my
also
flight
did that's
attendant days.
that's
Yeah, yeah.
right. Oh,
So
just
that's
another little career there. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, I've had many careers. Yeah, so
Yeah.
and I was traveling, and that was internationally, so I'd had, quite a few days off at a time, so I could fit those appointments in and things. So, yeah, and also too, I was earning good money, so I was fortunate to, have the means to be able to do that. So, yeah, it was a financial cost and, very, very hard, but well worth it. Mm.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Um, right. Amazing. So you are from like I've got this impression in my head that the Bay of Plenty, Tauranga, is like the most populous city in New Zealand. Am I right about that? Has that sort of like was it last year or the year before that it hit kind of the most populous city and people are all just moving there in droves?
Yeah, well, it's been like that for quite a few years.
There
It's
we
really
go,
interesting.
people. This is where Kathryn lives. That's why it's great that you know, are doing what you're doing. Like you actually do live in a beautiful and very popular city. Because of course, we've holidayed in Tauranga, like in Papamoa, for about the last 15 to 20 years, every single Christmas
Oh,
time. So we go to the
okay.
same camping spot. We've got all these lifelong friends now. It seems like
Oh,
lifelong.
cool.
And yeah, so we understand, you know what I mean? Like, but everyone's going there and they're all like sitting there in the traffic at Papamoa. But great that the highways are being developed. Like that's all great, you know.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah, you live in a beautiful city.
It's really interesting. So I'm from Auckland originally. And my husband's from Christchurch, but he moved here when he was 11. So he and I moved here. It'll be 17 years in 3 weeks' time. Um, we moved from Auckland because we met when we were living in Auckland. So we moved here. We both worked here. He got transferred back. We started doing the commute thing. I got a job back there. Then I left, started my businesses. He carried on commuting for another 3 years, I think it was, Monday through Thursday. And then he stopped that to start his business. And it was really interesting. After he left the corporate world, so it had started getting a bit busier just before he left. People had really started moving here. And it was really funny because after he left, one day we were driving into town. It was early in the morning, I think it was. No, we were coming home in the afternoon, that's right. And it was really busy, like the traffic was really busy. And he looked at me and he said, "When did it get like this?"
No, that's right. That's
Because he'd been
right.
working in another city Monday
I
through
know.
th
Yeah.
yeah, and he hadn't been experiencing it, whereas I'd been seeing
Funny.
it happen slowly,
It's so
Uh,
good.
yeah, so that sort of seemed to be a time when all of a sudden people started moving here. Yeah, and it has. Oh, yeah, it's got busier and busier. I'm really grateful that I don't have to drive in the traffic. I mean, it's nothing like Auckland. And of course, when I think of people like Tracy with an IE who lives in, LA area, and I remember LA back in the late 80s and early 90s and how crazy it was then. I hate to think what it's like now. Our traffic's nothing, but
Yeah, of
yeah,
course.
it's certainly
Yeah.
got a lot busier. here, and we pick our time. We're lucky. We're both retired now. So,
Yeah.
and when we're in business, we could do that too. It was great. We could pick our times when we went
Yeah.
into town, But yeah, it is beautiful. We're very fortunate. We've got 3/4 of an acre here, and we look out to the
Wow.
harbour at Omokarara down there. Yeah. So it is a nice place to live. It took some adjusting in the beginning because it was quite a lot quieter.
Yes.
When we first came here 17 years ago, I remember driving to work one morning and thinking, where are the cars? It's like there was
Yeah.
nobody on the road.
Where's the social proof that this is a good place to live?
Yeah, it was like that. It was compared to Auckland. It was
Yeah.
so
Be careful
quiet.
what you wish for.
Yeah, exactly.
I know,
Yeah.
honestly, I just keep on seeing because I just know that literally, you know what? Every single Christmas time when we come back, and we literally just see these whole like suburbs have popped up during the year or something. Do you know,
Yes.
like let's just say
Yes.
let's go the end of the big Papa Mile Road or something.
Yes.
And we stay at the Christian holiday camp. What is that camp called? Was it 110 1110? Like it's not called Papa Mile Christian. I know the name of it, but you'll know the name of it too, but
I'm
I
trying
just
to
don't
think.
remember. Yeah,
Yeah, I don't
but
know the name.
at the
No.
very end where there's like a cinema, there's that beautiful boutique cinema. You probably haven't been down there, but there's like
I haven't
a
been down there
big
for ages.
exactly. But just what I'm saying is just starting from there, but literally like whole suburbs of houses pop up.
Yes.
And of
Yes.
course, it's a massive retirement lifestyle place because the weather is so beautiful and it's just endless beach. And honestly, like we think about just that beautiful long, the beach lines and everything. Like that's
It
as
is.
good as
Yeah.
like anywhere in the world. That's as good as like anywhere in
Yeah.
Australia, even,
Yeah.
just, yeah, so beautiful. And just the mount, but just you can just swim anywhere. And it's private, like, yeah, if people live in much busier cities and busy beaches, like you think about these massive tourist hotspots like around the world, and but New Zealand, we've just got so much beach line that you can turn up at beaches and there's just no one there, for like miles and all that kind of stuff, right? Like
Yeah.
that's
Yeah,
treasure.
exactly.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it sure is. Yeah.
All right. So you live in this gorgeous place. And so I've been really interested too about like I think you've got a really lovely about, actually. I think it's really lovely. And the interesting thing too is just even for you to explain to me that, writing has been like a big part of your life. Like I just think that your writing, I'm not quite sure if you use ChatGPT to help you with some of the thinking or structuring or whatever, but I think it's really beautiful what you've written on your about. I don't always think
Oh,
people's
thank you.
about like I always think my about is really crap and I just do it as an afterthought and then I'll come back to it because I think, oh, who's reading the about anyway? I'm too busy trying to think up a next video or something. But I think your
Yeah.
about is really lovely. So did you just write that yourself? Did you use like a little bit of assistance to get your thinking
Um,
together?
I tend to look at other people's abouts and get inspiration from those.
Yeah.
And then what I'll do is I'll usually these days, I mean, I always used to write everything myself, but these days what I'll do is I'll write something and then I'll run it through ChatGPT to see what it can kind of improve. But being someone who loves to write and has always written, often it's like when it comes back, it's like, no, that doesn't sound like me. And I change a few words and yeah, so probably a bit of both these days, really. A bit of those three things. Sort of other
Yeah.
sometimes I'll see someone else's and I'll go, oh, I really like that, the way
That line. Yeah.
that's written or something. And then I'll
Crafted.
use that format, but apply it to me in my life.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it. And so speaking on that, so your one of your real sort of like, I guess, taglines or big part of your brand is about living with intentionality.
Yes.
And so I thought, because a lot of people say like live an intentional life, like it's one of those words, isn't it? That people are
Yeah,
really talking
it
about
is.
in
Yeah.
2025, probably for the last few years, and maybe even
Yes.
since the pandemic, who knows, right? Because that's when
Mhm.
we really, pumped the brakes on the crazy train. You know what I mean? If people were having crazy jobs and then everything's upheaved And then,
Yeah.
people are rethinking, like, what am I doing? What's my life? What do I want my life to be about? And legacy and all those sorts of things. But so tell me about intentionality, because, I think everyone uses that word so much, but when you really just say, if you're ready to live with intention, plus, do you know what else? I think it's really lovely how you write, I'm, I'm, and I don't think you said the word interested, but you said something like, let's just say interested for want of a better word, but you can correct me, but you had something like, I'm really interested in sharing my life with you, but equally I'm interested in finding out and, hearing about your
Oh,
life, something
right.
like that. So I don't remember what your word was there.
Yeah. Yeah. It was,
Something like,
yeah,
yeah,
basically that. Yeah. Yeah.
basically that, yeah. So tell us about the intentional bit, because I never really
Yeah.
quite know what that means, apart from don't waste your time mindlessly or something, like don't doom scroll your life away or something.
Yeah. So I guess it means different things for different people. But for me, it's, I guess it's part of my having done all the personal work, being very self aware. And so, but at the same time, having gone through periods where I have spent time doom scrolling, I had back in at the beginning of 2020, after my brother passed, I went through another period of burnout, having supported him,
Mm.
and then went through a period of physical vitamin and mineral deficiencies that sort of had me in a place where I had little to no energy for quite some months. And then working through that with a natural health practitioner. So I guess for me, the intentional part is there's very many parts to it. So there's the personal development stuff. It's being mindful and aware of my own thoughts and feelings, and so that I'm processing those to keep myself healthy emotionally. There's the physical side, which is the exercise thing, and the healthy eating, which I'm pretty good at, but I have a sweet tooth, so I can be really tempted to pick up something sweet when I'm out.
Yes,
Um,
but you don't overdo it, do you? Like, I see you making lovely little goodies and things like that, but you just, you know how to just eat in moderation, whereas that's something
oh,
I'm always working on.
yeah, I suppose I do much more. I do much more now than what I used to, but I can still pick up a bag of pineapple lumps and eat it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But
Okay,
but
so
but but look at you.
um,
That's not your go-to. You know what I mean? Like,
no, it's
you're
not.
not
It's
doing
certainly
too
not.
much of that. No.
No, no. I mean, yeah, the last few months I've put on a few kilos again, but that's been me sort of up and down 5 kilos, and
I reckon
since
it's
I
off
lost.
now. I reckon that's off now.
No, it's
If you
not. It's
did,
back on.
as
No,
an
it's back on. No.
I don't know. Well, do you know what?
Um,
Look, that's because, like, you know what you weigh, you know what you
yeah,
like to
yeah,
be,
yeah,
right? That's it.
exactly.
That's what it is.
Yeah,
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 yeah.
yeah.
So that's another part of it, the healthy eating, and the living with intention. It's around food. Another part of it is growing some vegetables and things like that, and
Yes.
being mindful of what I'm eating. Like, I try not to eat processed foods too much. You know, anything that comes out of a packet, with numbers on the back, I'm not keen on consuming
Yeah.
too often. And so that's an intentional thing as well. The people that I choose to have in my life, that I surround myself with, I'm not a big socializer these days, probably less so than I've ever been.
Same.
Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, and just being much more aware of, yeah, the people that I do choose to have in my life, and nurturing those friendships. So that's all about living with intention in that way as well. So
Yeah.
it's a whole lot of things for me, and it's just being mindful about what I do, I guess, basically,
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
all those areas. Yeah, yeah,
Yes. I mean, even
and
that's
yeah,
right. Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, you go.
yeah, and doing the things that I love. It's like, that's been something I guess I've started doing more and more over the last decade. With being in business, doing those things that I wanted to do, with planting the things in my garden that I love. Now I'm looking out on my iceberg roses that are just absolutely flourishing out each window, and then down the bottom of the garden I can see all my hydrangeas that have just come out, And I just sit here, I got goosebumps now. You know, those are the
Yeah.
simple things that I've
Yes.
brought into my life that I just get so much pleasure out of. You know, there's simple things.
Yes. Yes. And, I even just with your camping trip that you did
Yes.
recently.
Yep.
And so did you say you went away for, was it 8 nights? Did you,
No, it
because I
was
think I might have, oh, it was 4 nights. Okay.
only
Yeah.
4 nights that
Yes.
time. Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
We, I'm just trying to think, the last big trip we did was in July when we went to the South Island for a month. Yeah,
Oh, yeah, that's a mission. Yeah, that's a mission. And did you
yeah.
take your camper van on the boat?
Yes, we did something different this time. So
Did you
I'm not.
hire one? What did you do? Did you fly and hire or?
No, we took our, well, Craig took ours. We had a credit with the airline from the pandemic that was still sitting there, and
Oh my goodness.
I'm not that keen on the long drive or on the ferry.
Yeah.
My first trip on the ferry was February last year, and we had the roughest crossing. So rough. That was my first experience, and I didn't enjoy it at all. So this time, Craig said to me, he said, "Why don't Sid and I drive down in the van and you fly?"
Nice. And did you
So
say, hang on, let me think about it?
I know, and I was like, "No, I can't do that." I said, "That's
No,
not
that's
fair."
too mean. That's not fair on
Yeah,
you.
I know. I felt really kind of mean. And he said, "No." He said, "It'll be fun. Sid and I'll, go and have
Oh,
a
oh
boys
my
road
God.
trip."
Oh my God. He reframed it. And then what did you say?
And I said, I said, "Okay." I said, "But I do feel like a bit of a spoilt brat. I feel like, bring me my horse and I'll get on it." It's like,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah,
it's sort of one of
yeah.
those. Yeah, it was funny. So yeah, I flew, and then I flew down. So he went. I flew down about 3 days later because it took him that length of time to get to Christchurch. And I picked up a rental car at the airport, drove to the campground, of course, where the van was, and then we had the rental car for the 5 days we were in Christchurch, which was great.
Nice.
Yeah, and then sort of went further south from there. Yeah, and it was really great. It was a great way to break up the winter, and we're going to do it again next year. Yeah. And I love the
Yes.
South Island, particularly in the winter. We were lucky we didn't get snow, get snowed in or anything. There might have been a different story then, but yeah, it was great.
Yeah. Oh, that's so good. And does Craig like to listen to music or podcasts or anything like that when he drives, or does he just be present and just, not need to listen to a lot of stuff?
No, he doesn't listen to stuff. Actually, he used to when he was doing the commuting thing. He used to listen to audio books, I think it was. But no, he doesn't tend to when he's driving himself. I think, yeah,
Do you know
yeah,
what? I listened to this. So who did I listen to? Oh my gosh, this amazing guy who's got all this like philosophy, masters in philosophy and everything. So I've been reading about just the whole kind of journaling again, right? Just sort of getting back into thinking about that. But anyway,
yeah.
this guy did this video about audiobooks. Do you say that you listened to an audiobook or do you say that you read the book? So then he was talking about like an academic who had talked about the whole kind of thing, like he had a view on it. So it was interesting to hear you say, he listens to audiobooks.
Oh,
So if
right.
you if
Yes.
you listen to an audiobook, do you say I read a book or I listened to a book?
I say I listen to it because I've listened to lots of audiobooks over the years. Because interestingly, even though I love to write and I've written a book, I'm not a big reader. I actually don't enjoy reading at all. Never have. I'm quite a slow reader, and I get frustrated
I'm
because
slow,
I'm a
yeah.
slow reader. So I
Yeah.
much prefer to listen to a book. So yeah, I've listened to many, and I do say listened. Yeah,
Yeah, you do say listen, yeah, because this guy
yeah,
definitely said reading and listening are just different verbs. Is that the right word to describe them as? They are different
yeah,
actions, different brain activity, and
yes,
all of that.
yep,
So yeah, yeah, okay, good, all right, yes. And so when you do go, and I noticed that, like when you on your camping trip one, you do definitely talk like a lot about like when you're saying, this is one of our favorite walks, like it was one of your
oh
favorite
yeah,
places in Taupo, yeah.
yeah.
So Yeah, you definitely, there's that really big flavor in there, isn't there? Like you're actually, your vlogs are about exactly like what your channel promises, actually, about just intentional living and being mindful and just taking things, more slowly and noticing it all as
Yeah.
you're going along.
Yeah, and I'm finding, now that I'm, what am I, 12, nearly 18 months into retirement, yeah, I'm finding that I'm slowing down more and more, which is so nice after years and, 45 years of working life. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Just with Brian here, he's saying he's so glad to hear someone else share that they're not much of a reader and they're a slow reader.
Oh, right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I can literally just get distracted and I think like if it's a novel, I'm not very good at reading novels. I'm normally quite good at, so I'm really forcing myself to read. Actually, I'm reading the Booker Prize winner novel. Actually, I thought, right, I'm going to go into a bang. I'm going to get the Booker Prize winning novel Flesh.
Yeah.
So I'm reading that at the moment, but I have to really concentrate. So I'm trying to sort of savor
Yes,
it and just
I do
be
too.
intentional about it. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Um, Now, what was the other thing I was going to ask you about? Now, so this is the cool thing that's nice to tell everybody, and we will download this so you can pop this on your channel. But of course, it'll be fun for us to meet in real life at Christmas
Oh,
time.
yes. Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, because that's where I go camping, everyone. And Kathryn happens to live in this gorgeous place. But early next year, we're sort of hoping like by the end of February, it may even be March, we'll see what everyone's timing is like, but we're going to meet up with Mel as well, aren't we?
Oh,
Somewhere
yes. Yeah,
like
yeah, exactly.
Taupo.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So we'll keep that conversation going. Mike is saying he likes the idea of reading, but read slowly too. Yeah, exactly.
Mm,
All right. So the other thing I wanted to ask you about is what about, because I know that we've got to sort of pop off shortly, but what do you
yeah.
think? Do you know many other New Zealand YouTubers? Let's kind of end on this conversation. Like, do you know many? How do you think we can get to know more? Because there must be like a bunch that aren't just the young makeup ones. Because who's that? Is it Lizzo? She does the makeup. I know that from my daughter,
Oh, no,
my
no, I
adult
don't
daughter.
know.
Yeah, she's a Kiwi who's got like millions and she does makeup and has her own makeup line. But do we know many other New Zealand,
Oh,
YouTubers
gosh.
our age?
I
Yeah, there we
I
go. Everyone
don't.
around at Kaz's for Christmas time. Whoa, I'll do some cooking. Yeah.
Camping with Kaz.
Yeah, camping with Kaz. Yeah, the two Kaz's.
Yeah. No, I don't know any other YouTubers. I mean, I know people who have got channels, who have got various different businesses that put the odd thing up on their channel, but they're
No, yeah.
not focused on YouTube, as
Yes.
oh, that's my alarm. Oh, sorry. Yeah, they're not focused, and it's not part of their business strategy. I don't. Um,
Yeah.
yeah. Do you? So you don't know many either?
I don't know many. No. And I'm trying to think, do we know? Actually, there might be one person who might live up towards like Foxton way. I'm trying to think. They were through the chat. It might have been Rob's. Yeah, let's talk about being on
I've
Rob's.
lost your
Let's talk about.
sound. I've lost you. I
Oh,
can't hear you for
okay.
some reason.
All right. All right. Let's have a little look. I can hear you, so you just have a look to see. I'll look at the audio. Audio, audio, audio. Okay, default AirPods, default AirPods. Yes, Jennifer, it'll be so cool to meet.
I
Yeah,
can't
I
hear
know
you,
you do.
Karen.
Oh, okay. All right, let's have a little look. Let's have a little play. Default AirPods. Okay. What about now? Is that better? Can you hear me now?
No, I've lost my sound
Okay. What
completely.
about this? Okay, what about this? Hang on a second. Right, hang on. Can you hear me now? MacBook Pro speakers, default. Can you hear me now, Kathryn?
No, no, I can't hear you at all.
Oh, I can't hear you now. Edit your
Shall
mic
I
settings. Let's
refresh,
have a little
maybe?
look. Oh, we're sorting out the buses. Yeah, I know we need to do something here in New Zealand. Settings, audio,
No, nothing.
MacBook Pro, iPhone, default, built-in, default. What about now? Can you hear me now? Default. Can you hear me now, Kathryn?
Oh, I can hear you now. Yes,
I
you're
can't hear
back.
you now. I can't hear you now.
Mm. Okay, so I took.
Yes.
I
Yep. We just need to be able to hear each other. Once we get each other back, then we will say our farewells. But thank you. Thank you for hanging in there with us. Isn't this fun, hanging out with Kathryn?
okay. Can you hear me now?
You now. I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Boom shaka. We got
Yeah, so
this.
I don't know what happened.
What happened?
An alarm went on my phone, and I think that might have done something.
It did. Yeah, it said
Yeah.
you've both turned into pumpkins now. Bugger off. People have got things they need to get on with. Yeah. All right. So what were we saying? Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. So
So
that's just
Kiwi
interesting.
YouTubers. Yeah.
Yeah. We don't know many Kiwi YouTubers, so we'll have to. I don't know. Like, I don't know how we. It'll be fun to sort of. So yeah, on Rob's chat, like I think it might have been about 6 months ago, someone in there was just up like in Foxton sort of area. So it was
Oh,
like, oh,
okay.
yeah.
Mm.
That'll be a
Yeah,
fun
I
thing, I
don't know
think.
how we would connect with them. It's sort of, I mean, it's different than social media, isn't it? That there's sort of not that ability to reach out. I wish there was actually a messenger part of YouTube.
Yeah.
Private message.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, but because yeah, like when we went to the conference, like there was an app called Wova or Hoover, WHOVA, but it was everyone that went to the conference, and then you could put posts up saying who here is over
Oh,
45,
okay.
who here is for the first time. But let's put our little reticular activating systems to work now that, like if that's something that interests you, but it'll just be quite fun to
Yeah.
just kind of like, because I reckon that there'd be a bunch of people, our age that will just, like we can then do stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm sure there will be others, but
Yeah.
as you say, it's just finding them, isn't it? Yeah.
Oh, yes, there we go. Put New Zealand in the search bar. Looks like there are several. Yeah, that could be a fun thing to do in all of our
Oh,
free
okay.
time. Yeah, that's a good idea. It's a good idea.
Right.
Um, Amazing. Right, we've covered heaps of topics. We've covered so many things. People
Yeah,
have
we have.
really loved. There've been so many. I'm sure you'll have a chance to see them now, like on our replay, Kathryn. But people have really appreciated you sharing just about your background and just like your personal development, just how you've come to where you are. But I see so many comments of love in for
Oh,
people
thank you,
appreciating.
everyone.
Truly, right? People
Yeah,
just
thank
really
you so
love them.
much.
Yeah, they're so nice, so lovely. So we hope that you don't stop,
No,
but
I don't
we
think I
need to
will,
make sure
but
that we're watching your video, like all of your videos, right? Because you used to do shorter videos, and as you say, the flip side of that is that you need to make so much more quantity of those, right, to get the watch time.
yeah, and yeah, so I'm still figuring that out really. But yeah, I certainly appreciate everybody watching and the wonderful comments, and the community here on YouTube is the biggest thing that I have, just been blown away by. The support that we all give each other is amazing. I just in a decade in business on social media, yes, I experienced that with a few local friends, but not like it is on YouTube.
No, exactly.
Yeah, it's
So
amazing.
yeah, and I love your work, and Rob's like you're one of those little what do you call it, little hall monitors or little prefects or something, like managing the people in his comments. You've got the
Oh,
wrench.
Oh, he put me on as a moderator
No,
a few weeks back, and now
I
I still
know.
seem to be. So
I know. Well, you deserve it. You deserve it. You've been so loyal in there. And what I did, I was so smiling. This is the last thing I'll say, but I was so smiling about that person who was like, I think they were just sort of trying to do maybe some big self promotion or something, but they weren't really anyone, I don't necessarily think, like in the community, like that have been in Rob's community, like they're
oh, right,
fairly new.
yes.
And so I love the way that you were sort of like just teaching them kindly with a firm hand, like you had the velvet boxing glove on, you know. And then at one point you just say, "Oh well, now you know," but you said it in such a nice way. Now you know the way we roll around here, you know. You know.
Well, I didn't really feel like I could. I mean, everybody was. A few people were saying, "Oh, the moderator should block them," and I was like, I didn't really feel that's my place. But
I
I just
know.
kept delete. I think someone was putting the same thing in over, and I just kept removing it every time they put it up. So
I know, I know.
yeah,
So funny. But
yeah.
what about, I think even before Rob might have made you a moderator, someone's going, someone needs to moderate, someone needs to moderate. And Rob was
Oh
like
yes,
catching up with the comments and he goes, well, how about you just moderate yourselves? Of
yes. Oh, and I mean, people are pretty good. I mean, there doesn't seem to be any
course.
issues with 150, sometimes close to 200 people he has. So
I
yeah,
know. I know. The
amazing.
love is big and strong, eh, for Rob.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yep, I haven't
Yeah.
missed one for 28 weeks. So,
Yeah. And I think on my YouTube update roundup of the year, he's this is embarrassing. My one came up first, and I thought, how did that happen? That must have been me like watching my shorts or something. That's really embarrassing. My channel came up first, and then Rob was next under that. That's pretty nice. All right. Thank
yeah.
you. Thank you, Kathryn, for your generosity of time and energy and just spirit and everything today. Like everyone's really enjoyed hearing from you today. And
Thank you,
I have,
Karen. I really appreciate it. It's been great. It's been really lovely. And thank you, everybody, for joining and all your lovely comments. Not that I can see them with my 61-year-old eyes. I can
yeah, same. I wouldn't be able to either if I didn't. Yeah.
on my phone screen, but yeah,
Yeah.
it's lovely to have you here. Thank
Yeah,
you.
and look, maybe like another time we can figure out how to go live on yours as well. But
Yeah,
StreamYard's a bit
yeah,
fiddly. It is actually, it can either be one of two things: super easy, like someone will just click the
yeah,
link and it will just come up, and maybe that's if they're using their laptop. Because I think when I was on Reva's, and Reva had Alexa on as a guest, and I was very lucky to be like on the panel, if that's what we call it. But I think Alexa was on her laptop, so she's like, "Oh, I see the option up there." Because Reva, good for Reva. Reva's like, "Well, are you going live, Alexa? Like, if you know?" And Alexa,
yeah.
I'm just thinking, I'd be too nervous to ask, but Reva asked, and so Alexa just goes, "Oh, wait, hang on, I'll see if I can. Oh, wait, I can see how I do it." Click, boom, shaka, and she was in. So I think it might be a little bit different, but it's either really super easy or it's fiddly. And actually, to be honest, I think it's more fiddly than easy. That's the truth, I
Yeah,
think.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But we did it. We did it. And
Yeah,
we're
great.
gonna see each other and we'll walk or we'll coffee or we'll do something fun at Christmas time.
Yes, yes, that'll be great. Yeah, we're
Yeah.
always around at Christmas because we stay home when it's super busy and go away later. So
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, amazing. All right,
yeah.
Kathryn, you have a
Cool. Thank
beautiful day
you.
today, and I'll see you on the videos and in Rob's chat and all that stuff.
Yes. All right.
All right, see you
Okay.
later.
Thanks,
Yeah, and
everyone.
I'll download the video for you and I'll send you the link.
Excellent. Thank you. All right. See
Amazing.
you.
See you. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.